Save everyone. May the power of Kabbalah be with everyone. Hello everyone and welcome back to our Learn Kabbalah channel. Today, we're about to dive into a really exciting topic that's been sparking a lot of interest recently. Today, we're going to talk about the Kabbalah method of perception, but before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss any of our future content. Let's dive head first into today's topic and discover God's perception through the study of Kabbalah. Let's go. The method of perception in Kabbalah involves the search for understanding spiritual dimensions and connection with the divine. It is based on Kabbalistic principles and concepts such as the Sefirot, the divine attributes, the tree of life, and the analysis of sacred texts such as the Zohar. Some of the key elements of the Kabbalistic method of perception include meditation. Kabbalah uses meditation techniques to enter higher states of consciousness, seeking communion with God and understanding the secrets of the universe. Kabbalistic meditation often involves visualizing Kabbalistic symbols, such as the Sefirot. Study of sacred texts. Practitioners of Kabbalah study texts such as the Zohar and the Book of Formation, Sefer Yetzirah, to gain insights and understand spiritual concepts and paths to enlightenment. Analysis of the Sefirot. The Sefirot are the 10 divine attributes that, according to Kabbalah, describe the structure of divinity. The method of perception involves contemplation and analysis of the Sefirot to understand how they relate to and influence reality. Intention and concentration. Kabbalah emphasizes the importance of intention and concentration in spiritual practices. Practitioners must be focused and determined to achieve spiritual understanding and connection with the divine. Pray with Kavanah. Kavanah is the deep intention and devotion that accompanies prayer in the Jewish tradition. In Kabbalah, prayer is seen as a way to connect with God and elevate the soul. Kavanah, or kavanot, in the plural, is a Hebrew word that refers to the deep intention and concentration that an individual puts into their prayers, rituals, or religious actions, with the goal of establishing a more meaningful and spiritual connection with God or the divine. Kavanah is a fundamental part of religious practice in Judaism, although the concept can also be applied to other religious traditions. In Jewish tradition, the kavanah is seen as an essential component of prayer. It is not enough to simply recite the words of the prayers or perform the rituals mechanically. It is important that the heart and mind are involved in the action. Kavanah implies deep devotion, concentration, and intention during prayer. When someone prays with kavanah, they are expressing their deepest intentions, seeking a genuine connection with God and deeper spiritual understanding. In addition to prayer, kavanah can also be applied to other Jewish actions and rituals, such as studying the Torah, observing mitzvot, commandments, and even performing acts of charity and kindness. Having kavanah in all these activities means doing them with a spiritual purpose and a heart for God. Kavanah is a practice that can be challenging, as it requires concentration and reflection, but it is valued as a way to make religious life more meaningful and profound. She highlights the importance of quality over quantity, highlighting that it is not the number of prayers or rituals performed, but the intention and devotion with which they are done that are most important in the spiritual quest. Okay. Kabbalah addresses understanding divine mysteries, the nature of creation, and the spiritual journey toward union with the divine. It includes several tools and methods for exploring these concepts, with insight being a central part of the process. However, it is important to note that Kabbalah is a complex and profound discipline that requires study and dedication to be properly understood. The method of perception in Kabbalah involves the search for perceptions and deeper spiritual understanding through contemplation, meditation, and interpretation of Kabbalistic texts and symbols. Kabbalah teaches about the cause and effect connections between spiritual origins, highlighting that these connections are fundamental to understanding the universe and the spiritual journey. According to Kabbalah, there are absolute laws that govern the way divine energy flows and manifests at all levels of creation, including the material world in which we live. These laws are not arbitrary, but rather intrinsically linked to the nature of spiritual and material reality. Kabbalah holds that the Creator emanates His light and energy to the world, and the human spiritual journey involves reconnecting with this divine source. These connections can be understood as follows. Spiritual origins. Kabbalah teaches that there are spiritual sources, such as the Sefirot. existence in the material world, Kabbalah also recognizes that human beings live in this material world, which is a lower manifestation of creation. The spiritual journey involves finding the connections between this world and spiritual origins, allowing divine light to shine through our everyday actions and experiences. Therefore, Kabbalah offers a holistic view of reality, emphasizing the importance of understanding the spiritual laws that govern existence and how they relate to the goal of achieving union with the Creator. She encourages exploration of these connections, self-reflection, and spiritual practice as means to accomplish this ultimate goal. According to Kabbalah, the conclusive point, which is the pursuit of complete realization of the goal and program of creation, is a central concept in each individual's spiritual journey. This point not only represents a personal aspiration, but also reflects a deep understanding of the very purpose of human existence, according to the Kabbalistic view. Below, I will expand on the importance of this concluding point and what it involves. According to Kabbalah, each of humanity needs to reach this conclusive point, to completely achieve the goal and program of creation. Union with the Creator, the conclusive point, in the Kabbalistic view, involves the search for union with the Creator. This means transcending the limitations of material existence and seeking a direct connection with the divine source, where individuality dissolves into a state of spiritual unity. Kabbalah believes that this union is the highest achievement and true purpose of life. Fulfillment of divine purpose. Kabbalah teaches that creation, including humanity, has a divine purpose. Reaching the conclusive point means understanding and fulfilling that purpose. This implies living in accordance with ethical and moral principles, acting in harmony with spiritual laws and contributing to the spiritual upliftment of the world. Personal transformation. The search for the conclusive point requires a profound personal transformation. It involves purifying the ego, overcoming negative impulses and searching for spiritual virtues. This inner journey is often challenging, but fundamental to achieving the Kabbalistic goal. Understanding the higher worlds. To reach the conclusive point, Kabbalah practitioners seek to understand the higher worlds, such as the Sefiroth of the Tree of Life. This involves exploring the spiritual structure of creation and realizing the connections between these levels of existence. Harmony with spiritual laws. Kabbalah highlights the importance of living in harmony with the spiritual laws that govern reality. This means recognizing the cause and effect connections between human actions and spiritual events, seeking to align with the divine flow of energy. Contribution to Tikkun. In the Kabbalistic view, humanity plays a role in correcting the world, known as Tikkun Olam, the correction of the world. Reaching the conclusive point implies contributing to this spiritual correction, restoring balance and harmony in the world. The contribution to Tikkun appears to be related to a broader concept in Jewish tradition, particularly in Kabbalah thought. In the context of Kabbalah and Jewish spirituality, Tikkun refers to the act of repairing or correcting the world. It is believed that the world has been fragmented or unbalanced and that human actions, especially those motivated by good intentions and morality, can contribute to its repair. This idea is related to the concept of Tikkun Olam, which means repair of the world. Therefore, contribution to Tikkun refers to actions or efforts made by individuals to improve the world, make it more just, peaceful and balanced. In short, contribution to Tikkun involves acts of charity, social justice, morality, and positive actions that aim to make the world a better place more aligned with the spiritual principles of Kabbalah and Judaism in general. This may include acts of charity, volunteering, promoting peace, helping those in need, and acting ethically and morally in all areas of life. Connection with the spiritual community. The search for the conclusive point is often carried out in community, with guidance from spiritual masters and colleagues. Interaction and sharing experiences play an important role in spiritual growth. In short, the conclusive point, according to Kabbalah, represents the search for union with the divine and the fulfillment of the spiritual purpose of creation. It involves a profound personal transformation, understanding spiritual laws and contributing to the correction of the world.
It is a spiritually lofty and inspiring goal that guides the journey of many Kabbalistic seekers. Through the generations, it has been a spiritual tradition that individuals seeking understanding and enlightenment have dedicated their lives to hard, personal work, delving deeper into the complexities of spirituality in connection with the divine. These individuals, known as Kabbalists, represent a select group of spiritual seekers who have achieved exceptional levels of knowledge and enlightenment. Expanding on this idea, inner work and self-exploration. Individual work in the pursuit of spirituality is often characterized by deep self-reflection and self-exploration. Kabbalists invest time and effort in understanding their own nature, beliefs, and motivations, as well as in overcoming emotional and selfish obstacles that can obstruct the spiritual path. Constant study and meditation. The journey of Kabbalists involves a constant commitment to the study of spiritual and mystical texts, along with the practice of meditation and prayer. Through these practices, they seek to understand spiritual mysteries and deepen their connection with the divine. Development of spiritual awareness. Through their quest, Kabbalists develop a heightened spiritual awareness that allows them to perceive and interpret the signs and symbols of the spiritual world. This helps them understand reality more deeply and discern the divine presence in all things. Climbing the spiritual ladder. The reference to the spiritual ladder is a metaphor that describes the different stages or levels of spiritual realization and understanding. Kabbalists are often associated with those who have reached the top of this ladder, representing a state of enlightenment and closeness to the divine. Contribution to the spiritual community. Kabbalists not only seek enlightenment for themselves but also play an active role in the spiritual community. They share their knowledge, guide other seekers, and contribute to enriching the spiritual heritage of the Kabbalistic tradition. Union with the divine. The highest goal of the Kabbalistic quest is union with the divine. Kabbalists experience this union intensely, where the distinction between the self and the divine becomes almost imperceptible. This is often described as a state of deep, transformative spiritual communion. In short, Kabbalists represent the pinnacle of the spiritual quest, achieving a state of enlightenment that is the result of a deep commitment to individual work, study, meditation, and self-reflection. His contribution to the spiritual understanding and guidance of others makes his role vital within the Kabbalistic tradition and is a testament to the depth of human potential in the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment. Every material object, no matter how small or large, and every action that occurs in the universe are intrinsically linked to the spiritual forces that permeate and fill the entire cosmos. This is a conception deeply ingrained in many spiritual and philosophical traditions around the world, including Kabbalah, and resonates with the idea that material and spiritual reality are intertwined. Let's explore this idea in detail. Universal interconnection. The notion that spiritual forces permeate the universe suggests a universal interconnection. This means that everything in the cosmos, from subatomic particles to planets and stars, is interconnected in some way through these spiritual forces. This highlights the idea that the universe is a unified system, where all parts are related. Web of spiritual forces. One can imagine the universe as being organized into a kind of web of spiritual forces. These forces act as the threads that connect all elements of the cosmos. Every event, phenomenon, or object in the universe is linked to this spiritual web, and the interactions and influences of these forces play a vital role in determining how things manifest and relate to each other. Spiritual and physical laws. These spiritual forces are often seen as governing the laws of reality, including physical, ethical, and moral laws. This means that human actions, natural events, and cosmic processes are governed by spiritual principles that determine how things happen and evolve. Act consciously and intentionally. Belief in the influence of spiritual forces can also lead to the idea that our individual actions have broader implications in the context of the universe. This encourages consideration of how our choices and intentions affect not only our personal lives but also the broader order of the cosmos. Spiritual practice and understanding. Many spiritual traditions encourage spiritual practice and the search for a deeper understanding of these spiritual forces. This may include meditation, prayer, study of sacred texts, and rituals that aim to consciously connect with the spiritual aspect of reality. Respect for nature and the divine. The idea that everything is connected by spiritual forces also promotes respect for nature and divinity. This can lead to a deeper appreciation for connections with nature. The example of the simple organism reminds us that life is inextricably linked to the nature and functioning of the universe. Even the most modest life forms play essential roles in broader ecosystems and food chains, contributing to ecological complexity. Respect for life, contemplation of the complexity of life, even in the humblest organisms, can inspire a deep respect for life in all its forms. This can translate into ethics and practices that seek to preserve biodiversity and compassionately treat all living creatures. Scientific understanding. Science plays a fundamental role in exploring and understanding these microscopic complexities. Disciplines such as molecular biology and microbiology aim to unlock the secrets of the simplest organisms and how they work. Spiritual analogy. Some philosophies and spiritual traditions see these complexities in nature as a reflection of the divine order or intelligence underlying the universe. This can inspire the search for a deeper understanding of spirituality and connection with the divine. Humility and wonder. Observing the complexity in life, even in the most modest organisms, can lead us to a state of humility before the vastness and wonder of the natural world. The wonder at the simultaneous simplicity and complexity of life can remind us of the need to preserve and protect the planet. Simply reflecting on the complexity of living organisms, no matter how insignificant they may seem, leads us to admire the wonder and interconnectedness of life with the natural world. She inspires us to seek to understand and respect life in all its manifestations and to recognize that even the most elementary aspects of existence are full of complexity and beauty. Kabbalah conveys a sense of the intricate and vast nature of the universe, suggesting that the number of forces and connections that govern its events and elements is of such immense grandeur that it is difficult to conceive. This insinuates the existence of countless influences, relationships, and interactions at play, encompassing not only living organisms in the present, but also those that existed in the past, and even alluding to spiritual planes, which may be related to beliefs or conceptions metaphysics. This form of statement is commonly employed to highlight the enormity of the complexity and enigmatic interconnectedness of all the elements of the universe, as well as to emphasize how limited our understanding of this can be. The description of spiritual forces as two equivalent and interconnected systems is an interpretation that is often found in spiritual beliefs, especially in some mystical and esoteric traditions. These systems are often called the upper system and lower system. Superior system. The higher system is often associated with the Creator, or the primordial source of all spiritual energies. He is seen as the origin of all spiritual forces and as the divine plane from which they emanate. Top-down flow. In this system, spiritual energy flows from top to bottom, starting from the divine plane and passing through various levels or spiritual worlds until it reaches our physical world. As it descends, it produces the laws and spiritual principles that govern the universe and are created and established in the superior system. These laws are considered immutable and form the basis for the functioning of the lower system. Lower system. The lower system is where our physical world fits. It is here that we experience the manifestations of spiritual forces, which manifest themselves in accordance with the laws established in the higher system. Elevation according to the laws. In this system, spiritual forces operate according to the laws and principles established in the higher system. The spiritual journey is often seen as a gradual elevation towards the higher system, where one seeks a deeper connection with the Creator or the divine. This view of the two interconnected systems emphasizes the importance of harmony between the spiritual world and the physical world, as well as the search for spiritual evolution as a path of connection with the spiritual source. However, it is important to note that this interpretation can vary widely between different spiritual traditions and philosophies, and not everyone shares this same understanding. This explanation is a general interpretation and can be adapted in various ways across different spiritual belief systems and philosophies. Kabbalah is a Jewish mystical tradition that deeply explores the nature of divinity, the creation of the universe, and the spiritual journey. According to Kabbalah, the two systems mentioned can be understood as follows. The order of the creation of the worlds and Sefirot. In this system, Kabbalah describes the creation of the worlds and the spiritual structure known as the Sefirot, which are divine emanations that represent different aspects of divinity and reality. The Sefirot are often organized into a tree called the Tree of Life. The journey begins with the Emanation, Keter, and descends through several Sefirot, including Chochmah, Binah, Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Yesod, and Malkut. Each Sephira represents a stage in creation and a spiritual quality. Through understanding the Sefirot and the order of creation of the worlds, Kabbalists seek to connect with the Creator and understand the underlying structure of the universe. The reach or levels of prophecy and spirit. The second system, as defined by Kabbalah, refers to higher levels of spiritual experience and the capacity for prophecy. This is related to the search for direct connection with the divine, where the individual transcends material reality and connects with the highest aspects of divinity. Kabbalah teaches that as someone progresses on their spiritual journey, they can reach deeper levels of spiritual perception and understanding. Prophecy is seen as direct communication with the divine, in which the individual receives sacred insights and visions. These spiritual attainments represent a quest for unification with the divine and are seen as a path of ascension toward true spiritual understanding. Kabbalah is a complex and deeply spiritual tradition that offers a framework for exploring the relationship between the divine, the universe, and the individual. These systems are essential in Kabbalistic understanding. The order of the creation of the worlds and Sefirot. In this system, Kabbalah describes the creation of the worlds and the spiritual structure known as the Sefirot, which are divine emanations that represent different aspects of divinity and reality. The Sefirot are often organized into a tree called the Tree of Life. The journey begins with the Emanation, Keter, and descends through several Sefirot, including Chochmah, Binah, Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Yesod, and Malkut. Each Sephira represents a stage in creation and a spiritual quality. Through understanding the Sefirot and the order of creation of the worlds, Kabbalists seek to connect with the Creator and understand the underlying structure of the universe. The reach or levels of prophecy and spirit. The second system, as defined by Kabbalah, refers to higher levels of spiritual experience and the capacity for prophecy. This is related to the search for direct connection with the divine, where the individual transcends material reality and connects with the highest aspects of divinity. Kabbalah teaches that as someone progresses on their spiritual journey, they can reach deeper levels of spiritual perception and understanding. Prophecy is seen as direct communication with the divine, in which the individual receives sacred insights and visions. These spiritual attainments represent a quest for unification with the divine and are seen as a path of ascension toward true spiritual understanding. Kabbalah is a complex and deeply spiritual tradition that offers a framework for exploring the relationship between the divine, the universe, and the individual. These systems are essential in the Kabbalah understanding of creation and spirituality. It is important to remember that specific interpretations of Kabbalah may vary between different Kabbalistic schools and traditions. The text you provided seems to mention two different systems or approaches toward some goal or knowledge. The second system seems to suggest that people who wish to reach a certain conclusive degree must follow the laws of the first system, which, according to the text, are the laws studied in Kabbalah. Kabbalah is a mystical and esoteric tradition of Judaism that involves the study of mystical texts, meditation, and the search for spiritual understanding. It is possible that the first system mentioned is related to these specific practices and laws of Kabbalah. However, the full context in which this piece of text is placed can provide a clearer understanding of what these systems refer to and what their purpose is. If you can provide more information or context, I would be happy to help further clarify the meaning of these statements. When someone reaches these higher levels, a second fundamental factor emerges deep within. This crucial factor is spirituality, a dimension that reveals itself as the journey progresses. Spirituality is an intrinsic part of the human experience, a strength that develops as a person evolves on their path of self-discovery and personal growth. It becomes a compass, guiding the steps of those exploring these higher realms of consciousness and offering meaning, connection, and transcendence. As one progresses on this journey, spirituality becomes an inner beacon, lighting the way to a deeper understanding of oneself and the universe around us. It is a fascinating and transformative journey, in which spirituality plays a central role, helping to unravel the mysteries of existence and reveal the true nature of the soul. The corporeal world that surrounds us is filled with a myriad of forces and phenomena that, although we cannot perceive them directly, are an integral part of our reality. Take, for example, electricity and magnetism, two fundamental pillars of physics, which play vital roles in our daily lives. Even the youngest children are familiar with these concepts, hearing their names and witnessing the impressive effects they produce. These invisible forces are like invisible threads that weave the complex tapestry of our existence, influencing the functioning of electronic devices, lighting, and even the compass that points in the direction of north. So even though we can't touch them, their presence and impact are deeply ingrained in our daily lives. This is an interesting point about how human beings have the ability to use and harness natural phenomena, even without fully understanding their nature. Electricity is an excellent example of this. For a long time, people used electricity without fully understanding its electrical nature. Electricity was used in rudimentary forms, such as static electricity, long before modern electrical theory was developed. As the understanding of electricity has advanced, it has allowed us to develop more sophisticated technologies such as generators, electrical circuits, and electronic devices. Today, electricity is a fundamental part of our lives, used in a wide range of applications, from lighting and electronics to transportation and communications. This illustrates how humans have a remarkable ability to adapt and harness natural phenomena to suit their needs, often before fully understanding the underlying principles. As scientific understanding advances, we can harness these phenomena more effectively and safely, but the capacity for innovation and adaptation is a fundamental characteristic of humanity. Kabbalah is a mystical and esoteric tradition in Judaism that involves the interpretation of sacred texts, such as the Torah, with an emphasis on the search for spiritual understanding and deep insights into the universe and divinity. Part of this practice involves attributing symbolic and spiritual meanings to Hebrew letters and divine names. The quote you provided suggests that in Kabbalah names have a deep meaning and that each name is connected to a specific spiritual object. In Kabbalah, the Hebrew language is believed to have intrinsic power and that Hebrew letters and words have hidden, mystical meanings that can reveal insights into the SPI.